That track, I Walk on Gilding Splinters, was actually covered by Paul Weller on his album Stanley Road. So that's why we played those three particular songs together. Okay, it's my very great pleasure to introduce to the great Grimsby public and you at home listeners, the band Submarine. We've been talking you up for a long time now, so thanks very much for coming in and speaking to us.
Pleasure.
And how are you tonight? Because I know you've been busy with some recording commitments, have you not?
That's right, yeah, we've been in the studio basically for like past 36 hours non-stop. We've actually just finished mixing two tracks you're going to play tonight about an hour ago.
Really?
So yeah, pretty exclusive for you.
Excellent stuff. Now, we played a track earlier on called Far Out, and I have to say that it reminded me either of Abbey Road era The Beatles, or even some hint of Radiohead and stuff in there. Would they be fair references? I mean, what are your influences?
The band's influences are pretty diverse. I mean, there's four individuals that are bringing all the creative talents into it, and the influences on those four people. There are similarities. Radiohead, I suppose, would be one, and a few people of a more recent influence. The Beatles influenced everybody, so that's part of the course. But there are other bands in there, I suppose, bands like Pink Floyd,
right.
U2, there's a number of bands, that are inside the band.
Yeah.
There's certainly anything with musicality in it. I mean, it was very melodic. Band, as you can tell from listening to that track.
That's right, yeah. Another thing that struck me when I heard that particular demo was that the production values that have been put into it. How much did it actually cost you to produce that, and where did you record it?
Well, we're in the lucky position to have like a 16-track studio that we can use, and we thanks to like Pete Griffiths and also John Peterson. Yeah, and they co-run a studio called Pete's Pad Total Audio, which is in Cambridge Street in Cleethorpes.
Right.
Pete Clarke, the bass player, he also co-owns that. So we are in an extremely lucky position to have that.
Absolutely. We should just say at that point, sorry to put in there, Pete Clarke and Scott Gooseman are the members of Submarine, half the members of the band are in the studio tonight. The other two can't be here. They're away doing other things tonight. Sorry, please continue, Scott.
That's no problem, go on, you go from the production angle.
Yeah, like Scott says, we're really lucky to have the facility there, and it's enabled us to get loads and loads of really good quality demos out, which has done us a lot of good, hasn't it, with A&R and record companies.
But we do also produce and everything ourselves, you see, so it's the great thing about this band, and it's certainly for all people concerned, we've all been in a number of bands over the years, but this is the first band that we've been in which is completely self-sufficient in every way. We don't really have to go outside for anything, and as you can understand from a media perspective, the amount of things that are needed within the band. We do hire in PA and lights and everything else because we could never afford to buy what we do live. But from the perspective of writing, recording, producing, arranging and everything else, it's all within house.
That's fantastic. How long has the band been together?
3 years now. It started as a writing partnership, and that soon changed, and the individual members came one by one. I suppose the original Submarine, there was myself and Dave Gelder, who was a guitarist, who were the original members, but the band changed completely when Pete came in and when Paul came in. Paul Marklew, who's the vocalist. It's a completely different band, and we decided from the beginning that it's a four-way partnership. Everybody's involved in the writing, everybody's involved in the creative process. I think everybody's got their own individual talents that they bring to this, but everything is four-way split.
So you've been together for 3 years, so would you say that 3 years is the correct amount of time to build the confidence and develop your songwriting ability within a band?
Certainly most of the confidence and most of the work we've done has been in the last year and a half, really. It's gone from strength to strength in the last 18 months to where we are now, basically. I've been in the band a couple of years now, two years, Paul then joined after myself, and that's where we are now, really.
I think it does take a period of time, for obviously the band, when we first got together, it's ropey. It's like any band. It doesn't matter how good the individual players are or how long they've been doing it.
It was great at the time.
It's fun because you've got that initial. It's fun, and it's also the other aspect of it because you've got to start. The personalities of the band are trying to find their position and work together and find that creative unit which brings the songs like we are doing now. It's definitely been hard work. I mean, we have worked our backsides off over the last year, and the fruition of that is the 2 tracks that you're going to be playing this evening.
Right.
Plus the old one, Far Out. Far Out was recorded round about February, March
Yeah, get on that way.
of this year. So the tune, but at this moment in time there are 3 new ones. There's a track called Addiction, a track called Motormouth, and one called Heaven's Gate. They're the first 3. Because we left the live scene about 2 months ago, because we'd achieved everything locally and nationally at that moment in time that we wanted to,
Right.
and we didn't think there was any point whatsoever in continue to flog it the way we were doing. So we said, no, we need a new set, we need new songs. Locally, people have been to see the band 3 or 4 times now.
Right.
So we want some new material to like enthuse ourselves as well as enthuse the audience.
Okay.
Right, so we've been shut away now for the past couple of months, doing these new tracks, and but we're back on the scene in February, March time, aren't we?
February.
February, March.
February, yeah.
Would that be touring, just doing the local rounds in Grimsby?
We're hoping to do more nationally now, a lot more nationally. There's possibilities of doing showcases in London a lot more often now,
Right.
and certainly possibly support tours and things like that now.
I think we can go into more detail a little bit later about where we are and what's happening with the companies and everything else. But locally, we're trying to get one arranged for February. Now we're in the very lucky position of needing a large venue. Because we've been lucky enough to attract large crowds.
Right.
So
Are you looking at the auditorium?
no, not that. No, that's a bit beyond us. I mean,
Right.
we're looking at probably maximum of about 500.
Yeah.
At a push. That would be with a support band as well. We've approached the Winter Gardens, which would be the obvious place. There's the Casablanca. We're trying to go for the Winter Gardens, but as yet nothing has been confirmed.
Right.
But we do hope that within February, mid-February, this will be coordinated with a lot of the things that are happening to get a gig locally and do like a one-off for the first part of next year.
Excellent stuff. Okay, you are listening to Submarine on The Rock Show on 107.7 Mariner FM with me, Richard Cady, through with you until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we're going to hear a track from Submarine now. They've only just brought the CD into the studio. It's track 2, so what's the name of that particular track, guys?
Motormouth.
Motormouth, okay.
It's all over now, and you swear it's the truth. Sweet and sour, I'm your black and crow scavenger, friend and me. My bottom lip quivered as she found me out. The shine on my boots have gone. Whoever in my head is a 45 to ever what I've become. Yeah, I wish I could go back again. I am no angel, I know I never fall again. Oh, bubble wrapping the elephants, torn away from the hill. The curtain falls on act number 1. Open act number 2. The bottom lip quivered as she found me out. The end of my comfort zone. The weapon in your head is a 45 to end what I've become. Yeah, I wish I could go back again. I am no angel, I know I never fall again.
listening to 107.7 Mariner FM, the rock show with me, Richard Cady, through with you until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. We heard from Submarine, who are in the studio with us this evening. Hello, chaps, you okay? And the track's called Motormouth, and that was hot off the press, literally. Finished tonight, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
So we were talking earlier a little bit about your current activities and a bit of history of the band, but can you tell us where you are in terms of record contracts and things like that?
Yeah, the band, as from the summer when we hit the live scene here in Grimsby and then nationally, it was all like a spearhead to. We'd sent tapes out. There was a huge amount of interest coming back from the tapes, and the local gigs that we did in Grimsby, every one, we was lucky enough to have a huge response from A&R, publishing A&R as well, and management. We had a number of big league companies, major labels that came up from all aspects, except publishing, management and record company.
Yeah.
But the current climate, as a number of bands in this town and a lot of bands nationwide know, that the climate is towards more pop, individual artists, that kind of music. Billy Bewitched and.
That's right. I was going to ask you. Do you feel a bit frustrated that the sort of Britpop bubble has burst a little bit, hasn't it, lately?
Yeah, I think we definitely.
Are you suffering as a result of that?
We're all going to suffer, not just for that, but for the actual tag Britpop.
Right.
We received something back the other day from a producer in the States who was basically ranting on about Britpop. And it's like, well, what is Britpop? Define it. I mean, the bands that were in the Britpop mould, they were all different. The only thing they really had in common was melodic guitar-based music, which was originated from the 60s when bands began to make it.
Yeah.
That is the genre. You can change the rhythm underneath it. You can make it harder, softer, more melodic, ballad, whatever. But it's guitar music.
Yeah.
And at this moment in time, just look at the charts. No guitar bands that were brought into the fold. While the Britpop thing was really big when you Blur and your Oasis and everything else was kicking off, all those bands that were signed at that moment in time, hardly any of them have broken through.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed recently as well, listening to the tracks that you sent me, was a little bit of an Embrace connection along the way. Would that be an unfair thing to say to you? It would be an unfair thing. Something that you wouldn't appreciate.
No.
I retract it then. I take it back.
No, they were all done long before Embrace.
This is the problem. I mean, you've got guitar-based music.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do with it. Everybody at this moment in time seems to be sticking strings under everything, and has been doing for the last, I suppose 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
At the time when we brought those tracks out, like Far Out, a number of those, that's what we did, and they came out, to the industry at the same time as the Embrace album and the Verve album, and all those albums were really hit. I know the Verve was a bit before that,
yeah.
But around that time where that was big news, you still got a few bands like the Manics. It's part of their sound. We are particularly trying to move away from there and use more keyboard-orientated sounds,
right?
Along with harder guitars. The band has definitely taken a harder edge, but we've digressed somewhat from the actual industry situation, and where we are with that. So if we get back to that, we've had a number of offers, minor offers from independent labels.
Right.
None of these are really what we want. We know as a 4-piece band what we want. We've got a lawyer in place.
Right.
It's called Sarah Stennett. Here like her firm is Spragg and Stennett and Braben, and they got the Gomez deal. They've got Prodigy One. They've got over a huge amount of bands, and we're immensely privileged to have her. Because we're not at the time, should I say, when we approached her, we were nobody.
Right.
But we went down there, we checked, she listened to the stuff in the office, and it wasn't anything like, I don't know if you've been watching that Young Person's Guide, to the rock business. But
seen a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, we started off. It wasn't exactly like that. It was a little bit more laid back than that. But she absolutely adored the stuff, and this is the situation within the industry. All those bands that are out there, because we've suffered, we have a lot of rejections from people.
Right.
But it's not about. We know our music is at the level where it needs to be to succeed, and that's to get us onto the national stage and then the international stage. We know we're there, but it's getting it to the right people.
Right.
So don't be afraid of sending it out to 1 million people, because you only need one. Now we've had offers, as I said, from independent labels which we're not really interested in. We may have shot ourselves in the foot turning them down. We may not get any more offers, There are a number of things in the pipeline from management, and we've got a huge amount of publishing companies that are interested. But until all the band and the lawyer and a few of the people that are involved in the band get what we feel that we deserve or what we want, more than anything, we're determined not to be pushed or manipulated, and also bribed by a huge amount of money, which means that we may have a career that lasts 6 months. We may get the album actually in the can, but it won't get released.
Right.
Because
have you had to turn down huge amounts of money then? Have you been in that luxurious position?
We're in the position where we've been able to say no to a number of things that could have taken the band out of the poverty trap that we're now in. We're like any young band trying to make it. Yeah. We've stopped working as such. Yeah. We're now doing this full time because it's the only way that you can possibly make a career out of this.
You've got a lot of people locally to thank, haven't you, for the support that you've been given?
Yeah, I mean...
Steve Jackson from the Evening Telegraph.
Thanks Steve from the Telegraph, and Gemma Towell's been kind enough to put us in her column quite a few times over the past few months,
And also in terms of the audience.
Helped the local audience, I mean, as you know, all the local gigs have been really well attended. I mean, sold out. I mean, all the gigs.
I mean, we have been in that lucky position where we've been literally turning people away from every gig.
Right.
I think the first gig,
the first gig,
150 people.
We turned away 150 people, and
the Spider's Web, was it?
No, it was Wheatsheaf. Yeah, we got about 225 people in there, and we was like, again, as I said, it's a privileged position to be able to turn away 150 people.
Absolutely.
For a debut gig, I mean, you can ask more already.
But also, that goes to show the marketing and the promotion of the band, because that was our first gig.
Yeah.
Nobody had heard of us. They'd all heard literally just the hype and nothing else.
Yeah.
But we hope that we put across at that night and the nights after that we're a good live band as well as a good studio band.
As well as the local support, though, did you suffer a bit of a backlash from other bands in the area through the poster campaign that you ran that declared that you were the most original band in Grimsby? Was that right?
No, it's Grimsby's greatest band.
Grimsby? Oh, right.
It was a play. It was a play on words. It was like the Great Grimsby thing, and we thought, I'd turn it around, Grimsby's greatest band.
Right.
We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, no, because it worked.
Right.
It did work, and it did
provoked a response.
Exactly, and it got people talking about us, and that was the whole point in that. Yeah. And we'll continue to use that campaign because it worked.
Right.
But of course, without a shadow of a doubt, we believe we are in the best band. We believe we're in the best band in the country, because if we didn't believe that, then we would not have
any point carrying on.
There'd be no point. You look at the Oasis boys when they first started. They had a huge chip on their shoulder, a lot to prove. Any band in this situation has got a chip on its shoulder and a lot to prove. We're just the same. So we go out there, and we got a few people, original bands in town, didn't like it, slagged us off. Well, that happens. There was a few bands that did that, but when they come to see us and we chat and they got to know us, they knew that we wasn't full of ourselves. We're not up ourselves over it. It was just, it was just something that we used, and it worked.
Now haven't you got some stuff that you're going to give away to the listeners of the rock show tonight?
Hang on, just go and grab it.
Because there's a question that the Submarine are going to put to you out there.
I'll just let you know what we've got. We've got a T-shirt.
Right.
Which isn't large, I'm sorry for any, with the band logo on it.
Okay.
Designing.
There's signed photograph, signed poster, there's a demo tape in there, there's loads of stuff in there.
Great stuff.
Retail value £25.
So we need a question to go with that. Those lovely gifts.
We were struggling about this earlier, weren't we?
Well, I know. Well, people have just been listening. Where did we play our first gig in town? Where was Submarine's very first gig?
Okay.
It was in Grimsby. We just mentioned it a few moments ago.
Right. Okay.
So,
where was Submarine's very first gig? And if you know the answer to that question, then contact Mariner FM, and the address is as follows. That's Mariner FM, 80 Cleethorpes Road, Grimsby. The postcode is DN31 3EH, and mark that for the attention of the Richard Cady Sunday Rock Show on Mariner FM, 80 Cleethorpes Road, Grimsby, DN31 3EH. Thanks very much indeed for coming in tonight. That's Scott and Pete from the band Submarine. You're listening to 107.7 Mariner FM, the Rock Show, through with you until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to leave with a Submarine track. And would you like to announce it? It's track 1 from the CD that you've brought in very kindly tonight, Scott.
Addiction.
Thanks very much again.
That's okay.